Hey guys, welcome back to the Fake Critics podcast. We're your hosts, Morenike and Ezugo. And as I say always, this is your one-stop shop to all things film and TV critique.
It is indeed, people, and we are here today to talk about what?
Creed 3.
Goddamn.
Goddamn.
I feel like I keep saying that word, but Creed, yeah.
I think it'll be dramatic. Anyway, guys, you know how we do. Before we get started, we always need to go into our sweet and salty question. Sweet and salty question. So, the question of today is, would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury?
I feel like you've asked this question before.
I have not.
No, something very similar.
I have not.
And it was about 40k or something like that, and travel the world for 40k. Travel the world. You said something like this. You asked a question that's very similar, and it's about travel and it's about cost to do traveling.
Answer the question.
I'll say again, sorry.
Yeah, if you were listening, would you rather travel the world for 1 year on a tight budget, as in you basically have no budget, or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury?
And it's all within the year timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question, you know.
Exactly, because I haven't answered it before. That's why you're stuck.
Round of applause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Clap them. Thank you.
It's a good question.
Are you going to answer the question?
I don't know.
I would obviously stay in one country, because all that travel, like, why am I traveling around the world but I'm going to stay in hostels? Like, I remember one time in uni we went to France and we stayed in a hostel and it was like bunk beds. I was like, why am I here? Why am I getting boiled eggs and dry bread for breakfast? Like,
You actually have to
I'm in Francais. Why am I experiencing that?
You're a uni student.
No.
You had 0 P's.
But
0 P's to your name.
exactly. But if you're traveling the world for 1 year, you're going to be on 0 P's too, is my point.
That's fine, but I'm going to see different countries and different people and different things.
On a shoestring budget. Why would you do that? With experience also comes with ego, money,
I hear
dinero.
I hear it, but all the time. Some things you can do on a very cheap budget and have an amazing time. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me I should stay here in London, for example, if I wasn't living here?
Yeah.
And then on a good budget.
I will be living in Mayfair or in Canary Wharf by the pier in luxury. Personal butler, ayo, take me to Selfridges right quick. Let me tap my Amex card real quick. Luxury, yeah? I should now be looking to go and try and get Tesco Mojo. What?
Oh, sorry, no.
No.
That's dead. I can't stay in one place like that.
Like, no, because it's like, imagine being in like Dubai or being in just anywhere, but you're literally living in luxury. It's like being in Dubai but staying in the Shard on the top floor, personal butler for 1 year. But you want to go to Poland, Thailand, Tokyo, Australia, and all them places on a tight budget. Way better.
Yeah.
So that's your answer?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I'm not staying in one place for 1 year. I'm good. Unless I'm living there. Nah. I need to explore. I need to see. And you know what? I think there's a different side of things that you see to places when you actually go there with no money.
I hear that.
Like,
I hear
you see
that.
a different side to the people, to the way of life,
Yeah.
to the city or the town, or the country.
Yeah.
When you don't have money.
Yeah.
As opposed to just going there and doing all it. Because for the most part, like, I feel like you can do the same things that you can do in Dubai, in London, and the things that you can do in London, in Singapore I'm talking about that luxury and the things. It's just the fact that it's just different locations. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean. Like, I hear it. But why should I suffer? I've suffered for 19 years. Please. Anyways, guys, let us know what you think on Spotify. As we've said before, we obviously have the new question feature, so you guys can actually answer the question yourself. Let us know whether you'd stay in a country for 1 year or whether you travel. I would stay in a country for 1 year, and you will travel.
Yeah, man.
On a shoestring budget.
100%. I'm gonna go to Thailand and make that shoestring stretch. I'm gonna stretch that shoestring right out.
Please tell me how you stretch it. Please.
You don't know me that had crepe. We had crepe for, was it 1p?
No, we had crepe for £1.26p.
Yeah, that's my shoestring.
In Thailand. But no, yeah, because even us.
And I'm sure there's cheaper street food anyway.
No, definitely. It's so jarring that we didn't experience street food. Right, so going on to the hot topics for today, I literally forgot my hot topics jingle. Guys, we're recording this at 12:30 in the morning. We just saw Creed 3. So my brain's a bit
very late
fried.
to the party, to be honest with you, but...
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Don't look at me. Whose fault is that?
Last time I checked, you're a fully grown woman, you know.
Okay.
So I don't know your point is here.
Your point is, but what's your point?
What is your point?
No. What's your point?
My point is that
I said
if
my
you want to
point
go
was
see
clear.
the film, you're fully grown woman, you can go see it.
But we're critiquing it together.
Yeah, you go see it one time, I'll go see it another time. You can't do it together all the time.
Yeah.
She's too much. She's actually just too in love. That's the problem.
Too in love. This is not going into the podcast.
No.
One thing about me.
It's meant to be a candid conversation.
One thing about me.
Let's have the conversation.
I ain't never been too in love, okay? I'm a real straight. Okay. Hot topic number 1. Dun dun dun. Wait, what was my hot topics? Hot topics today. Hey. Oi, that bangs every single time. Okay, cool. Hot topic number 1. I know you're tired of me, but hot topic number 1.
Very tight. Very tight.
Game of Thrones, they're apparently considering a spin-off movie about Aegon Targaryen's conquest.
It's enough.
So no, it hasn't been confirmed.
It's enough.
But it is being considered.
It's enough.
And you know what, guys? I hear it because his conquest is always being inferred to, talked about, and everything.
It's enough.
But we've actually, can you shush? But we've actually never seen it.
It's enough.
Do you get me? Like, no, but we've actually never seen it. We've only ever heard about Aegon's conquest.
It's enough. Listen, I'm a Game of Thrones fan through and through. Like, I will fight for the thing even though it ended like an absolute sham. House of the Dragon, amazing stuff. You know, but at some point, you just gotta let things. Like for me, you just gotta let things like be like just let things go. Why? Like, how are you gonna come and start considering something that's happened? Like, why are they doing things backwards? Like, why are we going back in time? Like, why don't we just continue progress forward? I want to see what happens after with Jon Snow and all that rubbish. Like, for me, that's what I want to see.
That's finished. That's ended. That's gone.
I know.
Jon Snow,
but that's what I want to see.
Jon Snow's gone back to the wild to fight the imaginary
Aegon the
White
First.
Walkers.
We've seen this. Okay, we haven't seen it, but it's like an animation on YouTube.
But that's the thing.
About how he conquered everything, and it's like
exactly.
How many more dragons are we gonna see, guys? Like,
no.
They were great, and they conquered everyone. Ooh, yeah.
No, but because I feel like it's different when you actually see it happen. Especially with, I swear he had the biggest dragon in the world or something like that. He had Black Dread or whatever the dragon is called. I just feel like obviously,
yeah,
I get your point because obviously we've had Game of Thrones. We now have House of the Dragon. But I think it would have been nice for them to start off House of the Dragon with Aegon.
Yes, literally. Like that's my point. It's like we're talking about the Targaryens now. This is their show. Why are we starting halfway? That's it. Like, and we know how it's gonna end. We know how this is gonna end.
Do you know what I mean? Like that. I think that's that's the most confusing for me because they jump time so much in that series, and I feel like where we've landed is so pointless.
They jump like 30 years.
Literally, they jump
in that series within the space of like 5 episodes.
3 episodes. By the fourth episode, they had established everything. Like, and I just feel like we settled in a place in the story where I just feel like it's just not the most relevant. But Shad, they're considering it as obviously spin-off to the series. They're considering making it into a movie this time, not a series, a movie, which is different, obviously.
That would be good. I just don't know how much deal they can go into in the film.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, guys, do you know what? Especially after watching Creed, I think I have a thing against movies now. No, honestly, because I
have a thing against movies.
No,
what?
Because...
Guys, okay, this is our last episode. We're done now. She doesn't think movies. We won't put any more films anymore.
No, listen.
Episode's done. This is our final episode. We thank you for joining the podcast. It's been an amazing journey, but all good things must come to an end. And what? All the good things must come to an end.
Where did they burn you, please?
This is the end.
Ezugo,
it's over.
It's film and TV.
Fake critics out. We love you. Don't forget us. You know, yeah.
Are you finished? You have bare energy for someone that's
I'm not tired. You're tired.
I am tired.
I'm
That's why I keep giggling, guys. Okay, cool. Don't look at don't stop trying to cheat. Stop looking at my phone.
Hot topics is not cheating.
Yeah, but I like to come with surprises.
Okay.
Have you not noticed?
I don't know. I just saw two actors.
Yeah, who did you see?
Damson. Mm-hmm. And Bradley, but Brad.
This guy called Brad Pitt Bradley.
He's Bradley, man. He's a Bradley Pitt, man. It's Brad. What's his full name? Is it Brad? Is that actually Brad?
No, let me check because I've actually never.
If it's not Bradley, I'm done out.
No. It's actually William Bradley Pitt.
There you go.
Is he British or something? Like, where's he from? He's American. But anyways, that's actually quite hilarious.
His name is Brad.
Anyways, so hot topic number 2. So the Snowfall actor Damson Idris and Brad Pitt, you're gonna like this actually, are going to star in Apple's Formula One racing movie with Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski.
Yeah, that's gonna be lit.
That sounds very exciting.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Literally, I feel like I'm most excited. Obviously, I'm excited, but
When's it coming out?
it doesn't say.
Okay.
But they're obviously working on it now. But I think it's exciting when you see a TV star that has spoken about breaking out into film, actually going into film, and he's going in with a bang.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's had a few movies here and there that were dead. I'm not gonna lie. No.
What, Storm was bad?
Ezugo, he had one movie with Falcon. I forgot his real name. You know Falcon from Marvel?
Yeah.
Him and Falcon had a movie about basically Falcon was a robot in the movie, and I was watching it on Netflix at the time.
Altered Carbon? No, that's a series.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie, Damson Idris and Anthony Mackie. It was called it's called Outside the Wire. It's like a sci-fi movie, but it was absolute pants.
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it. You know, guys, you know me by now. Like, if I like someone on TV or film and think that they're amazing, I have to go watch all of their work. So I pushed through it. It was, anyways, yeah. Look,
What about Swarm? I thought you liked Swarm.
Huh?
Swarm, I thought you liked him in Swarm.
Swarm is interesting because I feel like you've never seen a serial killer from that point of view. So Niger and Swarm are meant to mirror Beyonce and the Beehive, and the main woman, how she done like the serial killing events are all based on true events that didn't happen in chronological order. It's different events with different people. But I'm trying to be careful because after watching that show, I'm not trying to talk bad about any celebrity because it was kind of creepy. As soon as you like tweeted bad or said anything bad about them, they find your address and they kill you. But you know, it was interesting. Obviously, by Donald Glover, so Childish Gambino.
Pardon?
By Donald Glover, Childish Gambino.
Is it Glover or Glover?
Glover. It's potato. I mean,
The Glover.
it's potato. Bruh, it's okay. It's Glover.
Glover.
Yeah, Glover. 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 Donald Glover. Who says Glover?
This is Glover.
Yeah, it's an accent thing though.
Donald Glover. I've actually never heard Glover before, but okay, cool.
Who says Glover? Anyway, guys, so moving on to the main topic of today, which is bum bum bum.
Rocky 9. Mate.
Hey. Right, so main event, Creed 3.
You lead. Because, boy.
So you guys, I like to come with all of the background and everything. So obviously you have Creed 3, which stars Damson Idris. You know what, yeah, Snowfall is on my mind. Like, guys, episode 9's coming out, so it's been tense in the brain. But right, so Creed 3 stars Michael B. Jordan as obviously Adonis Creed, Tessa Thompson, and it has Jonathan Majors in it. It was directed by Michael B. Jordan. Creed 3 was his directing debut, which was really, really exciting. It was written by Ryan Coogler and Ryan Coogler's brother, Keenan Coogler, who actually co-wrote with him on Black Panther. And it was also written by Zach Balin, who wrote King Richard. So the writers are actually coming with some serious accolades under their belt, which makes me quite disappointed in this particular story, if I'm being honest, but we'll get into it. But the plot is essentially, obviously, this is the third Creed movie. I think this is maybe the 9th film in the Rocky franchise period. But it's basically...
It's the 9th film.
So you basically, so you have Adonis Creed. You know, he's retired now. He has a daughter, and he has a childhood friend that resurfaces and essentially sees Michael B. Jordan living the life that he wanted to live. His friend, who was Jonathan Majors, went to prison, came out, challenged him from the title. Michael B. Jordan fought him. Michael B. Jordan won. Literally the end. Again, if you're new here, we share spoilers on this podcast. So please, if you haven't watched the movie, don't listen to it. But you know, if you don't mind spoilers, then please continue listening. Personally, I think I was quite disappointed in the storytelling purely because I really expected more. And
I
that's the thing.
thought you said you liked the storytelling.
No. I think the movie, I think it's a good movie. I think it has great elements to it. But I said the storytelling was great, but the actual story to me was weak in the knees. Stand up. Because, you know, for me, like, and this is what I said in the beginning, that I'm sick of movies, like I'm tired of movies, because I feel like we're now in 2023. We have had over 100 years of film and TV, cinema, everything. I want to see something different. Do you know what I mean? This is the third Creed movie. This is the ninth film in the Rocky franchise or whatever. It's the same thing every single time. And that doesn't mean that even though it's the same story, it doesn't mean that the film itself isn't good. But I want to see something different. And I feel like they tried to add the different element with obviously with Adonis's childhood friend, Dame, coming back. But it was just the same old. And the fact that, you know, Adonis won in the end, even the pace of the film, I feel like it went a little bit too fast for me. And I feel like certain things were really, really obvious. So, for example, Adonis's mum in the film, she passes away. But I feel like that's so obvious because in the beginning, they're talking about, oh, you know, you had a stroke. And she's like, oh, guys, I'm not going to have a stroke again. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, cool. She's dying in this film to add that emotional element to the film and to add the hardship that Adonis has to overcome. But I don't want to have to assume things in films and get it right. I want to be shocked. And I feel like, you know, she died. I just feel like we moved on to things too quickly, and we had obviously the main event, which was the fight between Adonis and Dame, Michael B and Jonathan. The fight was amazing. Michael B and Jonathan, Adonis and Dame. His name is Damien, but they call him Dame. So we had the main fight between them, which was amazing. But even, because in Creed 1 and Creed 2, you had like everything gearing up to like this final fight. And even though you had so much tension between them, the final fight didn't feel like the final fight. It just felt like, I don't know, I feel like it just happened so fast. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're at the end. And
I think that's the main point really that I would make as well. It just came really quickly. Like when it comes to the storyline in general, like I just don't feel like there was enough detail for them to have the kind of tension that they had. I think what made it,
I disagree with that point.
What made it like tense was the fact that he went to prison and he was in that prison for that amount of time. But I think the reason behind why Michael B or Adonis done what he done in the first place that got them in that situation wasn't strong enough for me. And I think that's because we didn't see much. We just saw like flashes of just. I mean, we just had to. It was kind of just left in the imagination to kind of.
Can I cut into you? Sorry, and just explain that. So, with that scene, Adonis and Damien met in a group home. Adonis and Damien used to get physically attacked by the group dad, which was he was called Leon, and they went to a corner shop one day, and then Adonis spotted Leon and started punching up Leon. Damien got out of the car, pulled a gun, and he got arrested and went to jail for 18 years. But you're saying that wasn't strong enough for you because they showed it in flashbacks?
I don't feel like, because for me, it's not even a flashback that's the issue. It's just that when they did flashback, they flashbacked with just very little. You just kind of inferred what was going on. Do you get what I mean? And I think in some situation that works, but I think given the emotional kind of gravity of the film, I don't think I feel like they left that part to chance. I feel like that's the kind of a part that should have really worked. I feel like their story should have been like when what caused them to get to this point should have been like really driven in. So because I just didn't feel like there was anything there. Like he went away. The part that was like that kind of got me was like, oh, he went over 20 years and he wrote you bare letters. You didn't get back to him once. Like, that's crazy. But the actual reason he went to prison
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't that deep.
It wasn't that deep.
It wasn't that like.
At least from my perspective, it wasn't that deep because we didn't see much, or again, just infer like.
No, I feel like from my perspective, it wasn't that deep because all that happened is that he pulled out a gun on the people that were trying to beat up Adonis after Adonis punched Leon, and he got taken to prison because he had loads of previouss. So they obviously threw the book at him. But for me, it was like, and you know, I'm not trying to be dark, but for example, if Dame's character had actually shot someone and killed someone, that's different now. I feel like now we're talking, it's on a deeper level. They made it seem like Jonathan Majors' character, Dame, went to prison for or in place of Adonis, Michael B. Jordan. So I was expecting something like maybe Michael B. Jordan pulled out the gun and then Jonathan took it from him. Or I was just expecting the fact that, you know, Adonis had done something and then, you know, maybe hurt someone or just done something insane. And then, you know, Damien basically took the rap for him. That would be different. For me, that's when like, okay, cool, nah, like you're taking a mickle kind of thing, or okay,
Well,
I can pin it on you.
I think that's kind of the line I'm trying to go down because.
But it wasn't that wasn't the case.
Yeah, no,
It
wasn't the case, but
obviously he pulled out the gun to
he came to
defend
back
him.
his friend, and his friend cut, like he just left him and just kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, yeah, man, 20 years. Obviously, he said he had priors before that, and then priors, and then he got caught with a gun. So everything after that, man, that's why he got his number. But man, 20 years for just holding a gun.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bit.
I feel like they tried to exacerbate, like maybe
It needed to be something more for me. Like it's like
because that was the key here. And one of the things I was saying to you when we got out of the film, I was saying what I liked about the film was that with the past like Rocky films, what you have is boxing at the center and then these stories around it. But this was more so about the story and the boxing around that. And I liked that. I think that was a good spin. I just felt like the story in the center wasn't strong enough. Or wasn't portrayed in the best light. That's what I think. Yeah,
I agree, and I feel like sometimes directors shouldn't be afraid to make films longer. I don't think it only needs to be Marvel movies or superhero movies that go down to the 2 to 3 hour route. I think if this film had a bit more time, they could have delved into it more because honestly and truly, the flashbacks were like 30 seconds long at max. And I don't think there was enough time for us to read because we saw their relationship at the beginning, but it was just like, what? So you guys met at the group home and you guys are, it just wasn't, you know, I just didn't feel. It wasn't
driven home enough.
It wasn't driven home. Like I didn't really feel I felt the connection. Yeah. I felt the tension. Yeah. But for me, it was like, it's not this deep. But you felt
the tension because of the people who acted. So Michael B. and Jonathan, they were amazing.
That's why I can't say the film is rubbish because they were brilliant.
The film isn't rubbish. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. No, I'm just saying they could have been better.
Yeah,
but they're lucky that they had Jonathan Majors and Michael B. because they brought that. Like,
they were great.
Intensity. Like
they were great.
You could feel the tension between both of them.
Great.
So what they brought to it just made it, just elevated it.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like with runtime, it was just an hour and 56, just under 2 hours. And typically, like in a day that we are, day and age we're in, like films are 2 hours, an hour and a half. Yeah. So 2 hours, 2.5 hours minimum, and then 3 hours like for the really long ones.
Yeah, for the bigger movies.
But like, yeah, I feel like it could have been at least 2.5 hours, and I felt that would have been enough time to drive.
Do you know what I mean?
That deep, because if they had that story, like the history behind them nailed, and that fight nailed, it won.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It won.
And if we could have also seen some time for Adonis to grieve the fact that his mom just died.
Yeah.
Because his mom died, boom, okay, I'm gonna challenge Damien, let's fight. Yeah. I'm going training. We're seeing all the you know, training
montages, yeah.
We're seeing the training montage, but it's like, but she's just died. You know, and she was the last thing that really connected Creed to the Rocky films, like physically, because Sylvester Stallone is no longer in the franchise. And it was just like, we didn't mourn her. We didn't have any kind of, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I just feel like directors shouldn't be afraid to add more time to the film because I think so many elements to the film would have been given, I guess, a better shot to really be grounded if they just had a lot more time. You know, like I said, the mum's death, like we should have had at least, you know, like we saw them carry the coffin and we saw him pick up dirt from the ground, but we didn't really hear like a eulogy at the funeral, like little things like that where I feel like it would have really shown, you know, the impacts that it really had on Adonis, even though we saw it in glimpses. It wasn't like, I just don't think anything gave a full picture other than the fight at the end, personally. But yeah, that's what I would say. I think the story was like I just think it's a story that we've seen before, which is where it slacks for me. I just wish the story had a bit more depth to it. If they were gonna go down something we've seen before, let it have more depth.
But I think that's what's going to be the case. Do you get what I mean? And never that this is a boxing film. There's only so far they can kind of stray away from boxing.
So from what I saw, from what the mum said, he started boxing everything because he was angry, and he was angry at life. He was angry. Obviously, he grew up in a group home. Like he was angry, and obviously his best friend being Dame got him into boxing. But you're saying that they can't do a deeper story because it's a boxing film. But he could have. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the origin story of him boxing could have been a lot deeper. It didn't just need to be. Do you get what I'm saying? Like what they presented, and I get that.
True.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's just a boxing movie, but I just feel like it's 2023. Why can't we push the boundaries a bit more? To me, it just felt like a typical film. You have your beginning, you have your stable, everything stable. You have your disequilibrium. You have something that's gone wrong. Everything goes right in the end. The protagonist wins. We move on. That formula is boring. Can we switch up the formula? Can we change it?
So give us like a really quick breakdown of a plot that you would love to see.
So with this film, I would have loved it if the story between Damon and Adonis, I would have loved if Adonis actually snaked him and not him being a coward and ran. I would love if maybe Adonis actually took the gun, or Adonis had the gun himself and shot him but fled the scene, and obviously maybe Dame picked up the gun and then the police caught him with the gun. That is Dame going down for Adonis's crime because Adonis done the crime. Do you get what I'm saying? That to me would have been deeper. Or they were talking about Leon, and Leon was the whole reason that this happened in the first place, because Leon used to physically assault them. If we saw more of that physical assault, or if it went a bit deeper than physical assault, do you know what I mean? Like if there was like a really deep wound that he was carrying that he never told his wife about, that would have been deeper. And if he lost the
Deep
fight,
wound,
yeah, like if it was a deeper wound, like
a physical wound, or like just
like a
emotional?
deeper internal emotional wound, because that was an emotional wound for him, like because he never spoke about it, and he kept bringing up the fact that, you know, you talk about your feelings, it's easy for you, it's not easy for me. And she was saying, yeah, it's difficult, just talk. But I'm like, this is what you wanted to talk about, the fact that this guy was beating you. Like obviously it's not a small thing, but because we didn't see a lot of it just didn't feel like it was anything deep, you know. For example, if the group home, if Leon was a drunkard, will come back home and was drunk, or would come back to the group center and was drunk and would start hitting them, and we saw that, that's different. And if honestly, like with the mum dying, I just wish it was something like higher stakes, you know. Maybe his mum died at a pivotal time. Maybe his mum died like in the boxing stadium, like just something that carries a lot more weight. And also if he lost at the end and he actually became champ, because in the end they made up. So what was the whole point of the film then? What was the, like, obviously there's a point to the film, but do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I think they could have just changed certain things or added an emphasis on certain things to make it that much deeper.
Yeah, I agree.
Right down to that, guys. Sorry, right down.
I agree. No, I agree with that. I think, yeah, there are definitely some like not holes, but areas of development that they could have definitely done.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it holes, but if they could have developed it, yeah.
Yeah, I think it just needed a bit more
Oomph.
time and work.
I wouldn't say work. I would just say time.
Yeah.
I think for everything that they were trying to cover past, present, and kind of future.
Yeah,
One film. They needed more time.
Then they added a new character.
You know, literally.
And it's like, yeah, there was a lot of work there.
They actually added 2 new characters. They added Damon and they added Chavez. That's 2 new characters.
Chavez.
The Adonis's new protege.
That's mine because he didn't really have a.
Obviously, he wasn't like, you know.
He wasn't really. Yeah.
But even that bit, 1 minute he was knocked out. He's like, they need to call him in an ambulance. His vitals are stable. Next minute you see him you see him sitting and to support Adonis in the boxing ring.
That bit was a bit confusing.
Yeah.
Me. No, not that bit. Like I'm saying it wasn't relevant. That's why he came, and he left and came back. My point is more so to do with the fact that he was angry at Dame for fighting. Obviously, he played a little bit dirty, but I'm just like, this is kind of the game. Like, this is kind of what like, I don't know why he put him in there expecting Dame to kind of lose.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. I think he was naive, but I think he was naive due to the guilt that he carried over the situation and kind of wanted Dame to do better. But obviously, Duke kept on saying to him, this is not a good idea. Like, he's angry and wants to take out in the world. But my point was the fact that Chavez, obviously, Dame knocked Chavez out and Chavez was on the ground. Chavez had to be taken to hospital. And then we don't hear nothing about Chavez until literally the last scene where literally he's supporting Adonis when Adonis is fighting Dame.
Yeah.
I just feel like even that part of the story, like, we didn't go to the hospital, we didn't visit him, like, you know.
Because he actually wasn't important.
I get that he wasn't important, but
He was just one of them plot drivers. That's literally who he was there for.
I know, but it's like the way that Dame knocked him out, you were almost thinking, because Michael B. Jordan was like, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be okay. You're thinking, oh crap, did he just kill someone in the ring? Obviously, if he did, there'll be a lot more repercussions and consequences, but I just feel like that wasn't clear to me. I just saw him in the beginning, then I saw him in the end.
I wanted more, but I don't know if I wanted more about his story. Like, I don't feel like he was relevant in he was just there to fight Dame. That was his purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'd have cared if they gave us any information more about him. It was like, oh, that's nice to do more about.
Even going on to it being fast paced really quickly, even the fact that, they mentioned it in the film as well, the fact that Dame just went straight to a title match. Like, that's kind of annoying. Yeah. It's just like you went straight to the.
I was even thinking, like, during it, like, why didn't they just give him someone else? Like instead of, he said to him it's impossible. Okay, cool. And he kind of engineered a situation where he breaks his opponent's arm or whatever. Why not just put him in a, I don't know, like in a fast track lane or something. Like, get him to say, okay, you need to fight. Instead of fighting, fighting all your way up, fight maybe 3 or 4 key people before you can come in and fight.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
like, that's why I was a bit like, that's why it felt a bit rushed for me.
It was too breezed. Like, and the fact that, and this is what I mean, like the fact that, obviously I can get the rationale behind it in terms of why him let him fight, because obviously he had that guilt. But you're not, this is not fun and games here. Like, this is a business. Do you know what I mean? It's something that you're running.
It's his legacy and
this
career.
Is your legacy. Do you know what I mean? So it's like the fact that you just kind of,
do you get it?
Willingly just kind of pegged it on someone that you met because someone that you knew in your past. But in reality, you could have just been like, no, there's a process for this.
Yeah.
You need to go find someone else. Let's give him this person to fight. That's it. I don't really see. I don't know why he broke protocol for him in that way.
Yeah, I feel like it's because it made it seem as though he had no choice but to break protocol because there was no one for Chavez to fight.
Nah,
but even that's what I'm saying. Even that, I'm just like, this guy went straight to a title match. Okay, next match is going to be Adonis. Even some parts of the dialogue where it's like, I challenge. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes Michael B. Jordan isn't like some of his lines, like even in the ring where he was like, "You thought this would be easy?" I was thinking, I need more from you, Michael. I need more. But no, okay, let's go on to the characters. Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors, fantastic job.
Yeah, hands down, man.
What I love about Jonathan Majors is that I feel like he really captured, he really captured the essence of someone being in prison for 18 years, coming out, still trying to find out how to socialize. Like, I loved like the slight stammer in his speech. I love the way he was almost like very jittery, and you know what I mean. Like, I feel like they really got that part of him down. Sorry, I'm moving a lot. And I also feel like, as I was saying to you, I also feel like he represented a lot of the, I guess, underdogs or black men in LA or that area of America, LA, California, in that time where it's like really and truly back then.
In that time?
2003. Because, he got arrested in 2003 and then obviously 2023 is when he came out. But my point being, like when you think of the routes that black men can go down during that time, it was usually only drug dealers or athletes. There was really no other in between from what I've seen or inferred from other shows. So even when he was walking out and his soundtrack, the lyrics of the soundtrack he was walking out with, where I've been grinding all my life, like a lot of these black men, it's either they go to jail or just something happens where it stops them from achieving their dreams. But the fact that he was able to go there, get into the ring, achieve his dreams, you could see that a lot of the men or guys or people from the hood were really cheering him on. Like, basically his demographic was different to Michael's. For example, like even the referee in the ring would say, Michael from LA, but then with Adonis from LA. But with Jonathan's character, he was saying, you know, Dame from Crenshaw, LA, California. Like, he really went down to the roots of where he's from, you know? And I appreciate that about his character.
Really,
Yeah.
I couldn't care less. Do you know why I couldn't care less?
Why?
Because he barely represented him in the film. The only time we hear where he's from is literally when he's in the ring.
Are you okay?
What?
No, it's not. You see when he goes back to his hotel room or he's where he's staying, you see on the paper, you see that they keep on bringing up him being a champion from Crenshaw. They kept on bringing it up that they brought it out throughout the whole film. Like,
Maybe I missed that part because
yeah, maybe you did, but yeah, like they like you knew he was from Crenshaw. Like, even his accent, like, it's like they had to hone that in. My last point was just gonna be that I love the relationship between Adonis and what's his name? Becca. Tessa Thompson's character.
Becca, Bianca.
That's it. The relationship between Adonis and Bianca, like, the chemistry is just so lovely. It's so beautiful. And then even how they incorporated sign language, I just felt like that was really amazing.
That's
and
really
big up on Michael B. Jordan's like directing part. Like, it was so nice just seeing that represented in the film.
Yeah.
And yeah, just their family unit was lovely to see.
So
I just feel like this is Creed 3. This is the third Creed film. How much further can they take or explore his character? Really and truly, the one thing that he is not good for, the one thing that he's about is boxing.
yeah,
He was in retirement, same old story. He's coming out of retirement to fight somebody. Ooh, he wins. They've done that now. What next? Is he going to train his daughter? I just feel like I don't think there's anything else that they can do because of this film.
I'm not talking about what else they can do. I'm also talking about what was done in the film.
Yeah, so I think his character, I think what was nice was that even with the story is that it was interwoven. Is that word? It fit his character nicely because we didn't really delve into his past too tough in the past two films. It was more so about his dad and Rocky's relationship with his dad. That was more so the past that we explored. But this time we actually explored his past and, you know, how it affected him and, you know, like the feelings of guilt and him being a coward and him running away from his issues and him not talking to Bianca and him not being emotional. So I think on the emotional side, it was a nice way to see him peel back his layers and peel back the layers of the walls that he put up to forget about his past.
Yeah.
And I think that was key, is the fact that he was saying that, you know, he tried to forget about it and move on from the past. But Jonathan, it was almost like him being with Jonathan was him looking in the mirror and actually, you know, like facing his fears and facing his past. Yeah. Which was nice. I think that was well done. It was nice to see him in a father role as well. It's nice to see actors who aren't dads in real life play dads in their characters because, you know, sometimes you can think, oh, it might not actually, you know, give chemistry, but he was amazing in that in terms of, you know, him having his daughter, sign language, all of that stuff. Honestly, I think he did a good job. It was great. I just think it was just a little bit rushed, even on his part in terms.
Yeah, I don't feel there was any. I mean, I don't want. There wasn't. I guess there wasn't any development. There was just a new angle, a new perspective on him, like because and again, the only perspective was his childhood and really what he went through, which obviously it was linked to Dame's character, but apart from that, like it's really similar to everything else that's gone before him. Like it's not, I can't really say that he done anything. Adonis is anything. There was anything new there, but
I think other than just face his past and move on from that, move on from the trauma that it built on him. Yeah, that was basically it. Which is why I just think this is the.
So if you've watched Creed 1 and 2, Creed 3 is just literally him in retirement for part of the film, for most of the film, and then coming out to fight for one part of the film, and that's literally it. Like, and then obviously we see his history, or a snippet of his history. Apart from that, I can't say anything.
Yeah. So again, I think that's what makes the movie just a little bit disappointing. Like, I think it's just, you know, when it's a third film, it's actually a third film. You need to see higher stakes.
I think if they had like really worked out the kinks in terms of the story, a lot elongated it a little bit and given a bit more detail, I think they could have been onto a winner, like something really serious here, because it's like the stakes would have been higher for the third film. There would have been a lot more. There would have been a lot more drama, a lot more tension than it already was. Just outside of what the actors bring, if there was actual, like if the story was just, I guess, more refined is the word I'm looking for, it would have been amazing because they have the grounds, they have a story, they have the grounds, and they're kind of going in the right direction in order to give, like that catalyst to be there. Like the beast was one level. You now have, I guess, in quotation marks, in quotes, the betrayal of obviously Donis leaving Damien. So that's already 2 levels. You get what I mean? Then the 3rd level is now he was inside for 20 years and there was no communication. That's enough. Like if each of those sections were like that kind of just kind of that different. Hey, just if we had just gone into a little bit more detail in those sections, I feel like there would have been something different here, man.
Like if we actually had some scenes with Dame in prison, or seen him transition in prison from young boy to old, would have hit more. Like certain things where it's like we would have seen the impact of him writing letters to Adonis but not receiving anything back for 20 years. That would have been different.
That would have elevated it, and that's just a little scene that would have taken it from one point
Do you get it?
to another.
Which is why it's like they definitely needed more time.
Yeah.
Even you have to like Adonis hadn't fought for 3 years, was actually in retirement, and he came out of retirement. That's a really big thing, and I just feel like he came on TV, said I'm going to challenge you, and then we moved forward. Like everything moved forward really, really quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also feel like the death of his mum or grandma, whoever she is. Sorry, I also feel like the death of his mum. It's like there's no one else within the film that could have died. It's almost like she's a loose character. She was no longer relevant, in my opinion. So she's the right person that fits the bill to die, to add the emotional element. But if Tessa had been in some sort of danger, like just something to add a little, do you get what I'm saying? Like
something a bit more gut wrenching.
You know,
like either Tessa down or Amara dying.
But yeah, it's sad, but because I feel like his mum dying, she had a stroke. Okay, we were expecting that, but
because she's already audio.
No, because she had already had a stroke. This was her 2nd stroke. So you didn't see the beginning, but in the beginning, she was saying, because they were doting over her, and she was saying, "Guys, I don't need help. Like I'm not gonna have another stroke." So immediately, I said, "Yeah, she's dying in this film." Do you get what I'm saying? But I feel like if maybe she had lived, and like even if Noah had died, but something that was, like
I feel like more than anything, and the thing is, the reason what I'm about to say right now, the reason I'm saying it is because of Bianca, what she says in the film in regards to she was like the only mother figure that she had. I feel like she was more of an anchor than they realized, because I feel like if they had given her more weight, because she has been there from Apollo's time, Rocky's time, like she's the only character that transcends all those times. So it's like if they had given her a bit more responsibility, let her live, and said, "Look, I'm your grounding force," kind of thing. I'm someone that keeps you grounded. I remind you of X, Y, Z, or whatever it is. I feel like that would have been more impactful. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, than just losing her.
Or I feel like
because there was no one there really to kind of be that anchor for him. Do you? I don't feel like Bianca was that. I feel like they had a discussion about it for like 4 seconds, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you have to go fight him." It's like, nah. Like I feel like the mum would have getting something.
Do you go? I'm like
something that only mothers can give.
That's what I'm saying. Like even in that conversation where she was like, like you're gonna have to. Like, because he was basically saying he's an issue, and then she was like, "You're gonna have to remove him," and he was like, "Oh, there's only one way I know how," and then she was like, "You've got to do what you've got to do."
Yeah.
But even that conversation wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
It didn't.
If the mother had delivered that conversation, because you have to understand, she has history with him because she was one that receiving all his letters, so she knows she knows all the history. So it's now different for her to be given that kind of having that conversation with him, because she's said, "I've seen all your messages. I'm not giving it to him. I kept them for whatever reason, but I'm not giving anything to him because I don't want him in your life anymore." But that would have been a different kind of weight, a different magnitude. Like,
yeah, or even if Adonis made the decision himself, but without talking to Bianca, or maybe he spoke to Bianca, but we saw maybe a few scenes of him, I guess, battling himself, saying like he doesn't want to fight him because he still feels the guilt. Like if there was some kind of internal struggle about him, like crying or breaking down or just trying to fight, coming out of retirement to fight him. I feel like that would have also had more of a pull, not have to fight him. Let's go to the fight scene, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I guess we know what's gonna happen, but take us on a ride, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with some of the decisions he made, it makes sense because again, you know, again, that element of guilt is there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and he just kind of wanted to do his best for him in terms of, you know, obviously kind of just leaving him where it was. But I just feel like, bro, like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You could have done something better. I don't know. Like, I just feel like that, for example, him not clocking that it was one of Damien's boys that guy's arms, like,
yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? That was,
bro.
that was obvious. The moment the scene happened and Damien kept looking back, I said, this guy is about to do something. And the moment it happened, I said, this is Damien.
He was already suspect from the...
Do you get what I'm saying?
From the onset.
So I'm thinking the fact that you didn't put two and two together, I just said,
But then again, I can understand why he didn't put two together because... Not because of him, but not because of Damien or Dame, but because of him internally and how he feels about the situation. When you have that level of guilt and that level of guilt, I guess, and shame concerning it, it's like you can't just brush past certain things. You're not really aware. You're not looking at.
I feel like it kind of made him dumb.
Said to him, this guy's showing you who you are, showing you who he is, believe him, because he wasn't really taking anything that he was saying, I guess, seriously. So yeah, man. There are some points that make sense. Like if you're in a situation, I would imagine this is how you would kind of, I guess, deal with it. But at the same time, it's like it took your mum showing you a picture.
You know,
like,
yeah. But moving on to Michael B's directing debut, I think he done a fantastic job. I like the shots at the end, and I think how he got so creative with it was lovely.
Cinematography,
it was beautiful. Like literally, like the last fight scene was.
There were a lot of, I guess, symbolisms throughout the film. There were a lot of some of the shots were just amazing. Like them kind of shots, like it only makes sense. I feel like it only makes sense in boxing films. Like some of the shots, like
because there was a shot where Damien punched him. And Michael B. Jordan went back, but he's rather than ropes, it was a prison cage.
Yeah.
So that was great.
And then when he hit back to him in the corner and he was just hitting on him, when Michael B. was hitting on Damien, I remember I mentioned that the same mattress we see in one of the flashbacks was literally behind Damien as he was getting beat against it. So like it was just mirroring what Liam was doing to them. So yeah, no, there was definitely some subliminals that were good. Like I think they were lit. Like just some of the shots, like even like some of the camera angles of some of the fighting scenes, like
it was amazing. Yeah,
they're only shots that like I said, they can only work in boxing. Anyway, I say all that to say the film was great. It was okay. It was good. Like it was a good film. Would I rewatch it? Probably not.
I would rewatch it. I would rewatch it. It's an easy watch. It's a very easy watch.
I give it a 7.5, strong 7.5.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7. I wouldn't say it's Oscar worthy, but I think the camera shots, the cinematic shots, the director makes up for the lack of story.
But what I do like is I can see Michael B. Jordan ability to direct.
I can see his style as well, man.
I can see his style, and it seems to me he's very critical.
Yeah,
and I like that.
He's great at it.
So he needs to get his hands on another piece of work or something that he can actually just like have full scope on.
Yeah,
that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, like no, yeah, his direction of this film, in my opinion, was actually 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
like certain shots you could tell that okay, cool. Like even aside from the boxing shots, like certain just like dialogue shots, you can tell that a lot of thought was put into it.
I think even just the fact that I don't know, I was talking about boxing being the center of previous films and this story being the center of this film in particular. I think just him having that at a certain point just shows how like different he thinks how different of the film he thinks about when it comes to this particular genre of films. So yeah, I think he's onto something, man. I think he's got the knack for it.
No, he definitely does. That's what I'm saying. Like I think it was actually a great film. I think it's just the story was just not the greatest for me, but everything else was.
The story was. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think the actual story wasn't the greatest, but everything else, the acting, the directing, everything was on point for me.
Yeah.
Soundtrack as well. I love that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll give it 7 out of 10.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, man.
That has been the Creed review.
Let us know what you guys think. Obviously, in the comments, subscribe to our YouTube channel,
YouTube.
Spotify as well. Answer the questions.
Spotify.
Chat with us over on Instagram, TikTok,
Instagram.
everything. Literally, let us know what you guys think of the film,
Oh.
because it's gotten a lot of mixed reviews from people that I've spoken to.
Really?
Yeah, like I spoke to some people and they were saying, yeah, same thing. It's boring. Wasn't that great? Other people were like, yeah, the soundtrack was sick. The cinematic shots were really, really good.
Oh my God, the musical score. I don't know.
I just said
I don't
soundtrack.
know
You're not
who
hearing me.
has a play in this. Sorry, who has I don't know who has hands in this. Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Whoever picks like the songs, bad boy.
Yeah, because there was that Afrobeat song at the end.
I don't know if I like that. You know.
I liked it. I was trying to get Shazam out, but there's no Wi-Fi in that stupid place.
But no, if you Shazam, it will.
Sorry,
pick
not Shazam. Siri.
You use Shazam. That's what I use.
I don't have
when you
Shazam.
get back in the signal, it will just tell you what song it is.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna start listening to the soundtrack on YouTube anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, man. I like the rap and stuff.
Yeah, no, I thought the music and music was good, man. Apart from the music that was actually created for the film.
Yeah, man, because Adonis came into Big Sean. I said, Big Sean, you're back out?
Yeah, literally.
You're rapping now,
Like
properly?
Big Sean, I was like, okay.
I said, oh, Big Sean. Yeah.
So,
I need to go back and listen to the soundtrack, 100%.
Yeah, no, the music was great, man. And I feel that's been a theme in Ryan Coogler films. Or I say film because isn't it, but this isn't really his film, but
yeah, films that he
anything that he
partakes of.
partakes in.
Yeah, right.
Soundtrack is like genuinely
man.
great.
I think Black Panther has the best soundtrack, 1 and 2, in my opinion.
Nah, 2 Wakanda Forever is out of the world, man.
That soundtrack,
the hits on that
back
film,
to back.
bangers. Anyway, that has been us. Any last words? Any closing statements?
Nah, man. I would say watch the film. I'd recommend it. Watch it. It's a good watch.
If you haven't seen it yet, watch it.
Yeah, it's a good watch.
But watch 1 and 2 first.
Watch Rocky Balboa, Rocky this, Rocky that. Yeah, I haven't even seen all the Rocky movies, fam.
Rocky, nah, man.
Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Bye, guys. Peace and love.
Peace out.